What's up, everybody? Jackson here today with my little brother Chubbz.
Hello, everyone.
Today we're going to be talking about Monster Hunter World a little bit because it seems to be an anomaly that shouldn't exist. It and many others. But we're going to focus on mostly Monster Hunter World today. Now, an argument I've had since I've started talking shit on microtransactions, loot boxes, all of the things. And the thing is, if you go through and look, I only talk shit on them when they matter. When it matters.
Right.
Like when they buried it behind an RNG loot box.
That
right?
that you can buy in.
Then when they hide it behind like a grind of like upwards of 200 hours to unlock one or two, three things, right? Long ass fucking time to unlock something. I'll talk shit on it. I'm sorry. I'm going to. One of the fucking biggest arguments. We've seen it more and more since Extra Credit did that video, which Mark hadn't even seen. Chubbz hadn't even seen that video. I showed him that earlier, and he was like, wow, this is the dumbest fucking argument. This is giving me cancer.
It made me so livid that I had to walk outside and smoke a whole cigarette. Because I couldn't believe that somebody could be so one-sided and narrow-minded and not pay attention to everything and just base an argument off of, like, the shallowest of kiddie pools.
Yeah. Because and so the argument presented that we've gotten over and over again on our channel, so that we've seen again time and time again in threads on Twitter, you know, the strongest argument is that inflation happens, games shouldn't cost $60. They should actually be in the $100 range. There's been an arms race where graphics and all of these things are concerned. The problem that me and Chubbz have with this argument, and the reason it makes us so mad, is because it's just factually wrong. It's wrong to say that a company can't make a big game, can't deliver, and Monster Hunter proves that.
Oh, yeah.
Monster Hunter World is a 100-hour experience day one.
Yeah, and not just deliver a 100-hour experience on day one, but have it look amazing and
this
functioning.
game looks great.
And have everything look good, you know? Have it all work and be a cohesive game. It just wouldn't work. It would fall apart. Day one, $60 asking price with how good this game looks and how much is in here. This company should be barely able to feed their families.
Or they should have to have loot boxes that you can buy, or they should have to, and they do. They have extra, not loot boxes, but Monster Hunter World has extra things you can buy.
Right, extra content.
And it's all cosmetic, and it's all under $5. If it costs more than that, it's because it's a package that comes with a lot of them. Right? So this is, at that point, that's almost like a tip jar. But still, that's them saying, oh, well, we can make a little extra money off this. How do we do it? Do we make it, you know, cosmetic only and then throw it in a loot box system that's grind into our game? No.
Right.
Let's just say you can pick these extra things, looks for your handlers, emotes, things like that. It'll cost you, you know, $2-3. There you go. Right. So that alone, and that's without a season pass.
Oh yeah,
a lot of these other games have seasons passes.
Well, that's because they're smart. They understand that there is a market of consumers wanting to switch up how their character looks in game through cosmetic skins or different things that do not affect the gameplay, right?
Yeah.
And so they want to change the way their character looks. They understand that there are people out there who are willing to buy into a system like that, and so they just sell microtransaction skins, you know, $5 or less than $5. Here's a skin, buy it.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy a loot box and pray that you get that skin out of it.
Yeah.
But they're still making money off of it because they understand that. They're not cutting content away and selling it like $20 for the new monster because they understand they can get their money from a different market.
Like, they've straight up given out for free the Devil Show and now the Kove Taroth, which is a multi-phase boss fight that is happening with your group of 4 plus 3 other groups of 4, right? 16 people all in the same place doing the same thing, and it all contributes damage to the boss. It's exactly like the Dragon in Dragon's Dogma.
Right.
Where damage is carrying over across the servers, so that the dragon's not just taking damage from you and your party, it's taking damage from all the parties there.
All at once.
In this case, it's 16 people, because that's the amount of people available in a lobby, right? They do it for free. They should not be able to do that for free under this argument that I get defending games like Overwatch, games like Destiny, or even a more current example of someone who's doing it without the season pass is Sea of Thieves, right? I don't think Sea of Thieves has a season pass, but what they've done is Instead of delivering an experience that's varied, that's deep, that has like they deliver one that has sparks of brilliance, but at the end is just a kiddie pool.
Right.
So it gives them room to add improvements, like to add floaters, to add fucking, here's a sprinkler.
Yeah.
Here's, a fucking kiddie water slide into your kiddie pool. There's like all sorts of things they can do, but at the end of the day, like for you to say that that's the right way to do things and that's the only way to do things is foolish.
Oh yeah.
And Destiny is a perfect example. Like Destiny 1 was a shallow fucking, here you go, here's some fucking shit. Then they added onto it all the way up to the Taken King, and all of a sudden you had this revelation of fans coming out and saying, you know what, this game is fucking great.
They fixed it.
Yeah, they fixed everything wrong with this game. Everything, you should see all the things there are to do now. And it's like, well, of course, it's because they gave you a skeleton so that when they added, like fucking flesh to it, without skin even, but when they added flesh and a couple of organs, you're going to think this Frankenstein is the best human being ever created.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because you started with that perception in mind. They're doing it with Destiny 2. They're doing it with Destiny 2, and I see people defending it, saying like, if it's anything like Destiny 1 moving forward, it's gonna be a good game. You don't even know.
They're gonna bring it back.
It's gonna be just like Destiny 1, which was good.
They're gonna bring it back.
Yeah, and so like that's the narrative. People say Destiny 1 is better than Destiny 2, but you need to understand that Destiny 1 has 3 years worth of content to make it a day one game, right? In the quality of other day one games like Monster Hunter World. Think of where Monster Hunter World will be in 3 years if they continually support this game and add stuff to it.
Yeah.
Think of where it'll be. And they keep adding new things, cross-promotional things, on top of a game which has a fairly simple gameplay loop. Pick up your weapon, go out there, track a monster, kill the fucking monster, make stuff from the monster. Right? Pretty simple gameplay loop.
Right.
But they add levels and levels and levels. It's like 18-layer dip that you're dipping into in this game where there's bounties, there's fucking investigations, there's fucking, special event investigations, all sorts of things going on with these events. And I'm supposed to cream in my fucking jeans and pat Blizzard on the back for giving you holiday event loot boxes?
Limited time content?
Which is skins? Just skins? Not, new quests, new ways to play the game? Oh, but they added a bot mode. I'm sorry. I take it back. But they added that for this event, just for this event.
But, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the bot mode limited?
Oh, yeah.
They're taking that away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's just part of the event. That's it. Right? But Monster Hunter, they have events too,
right.
But then they bring them back. When they did the Spring Blossom Festival recently, I think that's what it was called. I was able to log in and check that out. I was able to go in and do the Ryu quest where you earn the Ryu skin. But it ended before I could get enough of the tickets. Basically before I ran that quest enough times to build the Ryu skin, right?
Right.
So I can't build the Ryu skin, and in any other game I'd probably be fucked for God knows how long. But the next time Monster Hunter has an event, which they've said they're going to do fairly often, the next time they have an event, all of those will be available again. So you're never really missing out on a thing. You're always incentivized. Oh, there's an event, like a holiday event. I'm going to get on. That's the one game I give a fuck about to get on at this point.
Right.
Like, I give a shit if Destiny's having fucking, Halloween event. I don't care. What is it? What do they have? Cosmetics? That's it? That's the boiled down to the whole event. The whole event is nothing but cosmetics. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, that's the question I was going to ask. Isn't all the holiday events in Monster Hunter World, because they're not adding monsters or anything.
Well, there's a new. Well,
there's just cosmetics.
Well, for this one,
right?
it was a whole armor set, which is only cosmetic, but it has stats. It affects the game.
Right.
There was an outfit that you could grind for by doing specific holiday oriented events. On top of it, right now, they added this boss, the Colve Terath. That's going on top of the fact that I hadn't ran the Devil Joe yet.
And that's where it comes down to. Like, I'm not opposed to holiday events that are cosmetics only, because that is a smart way to keep player attention. But another smart way, especially in the case of Monster Hunter World, is they're adding free, meaningful content to an already giant experience. Yeah. That is just going to add more meat to the bone.
Which makes Monster Hunter World games as a service done right, in our opinion.
Exactly.
Here's the thing about games as a service. This isn't something I'm opposed to. I'm not opposed to a game that I enjoyed that came out on day one, that was functional, that did what it was supposed to do, that had a lot of depth to it, so much so that it took me over 100 hours to complete it.
Right.
I wouldn't even care if it was only 40 hours to complete it, 50 hours to complete it. I think I beat Horizon Zero Dawn in just under 50 hours. But that was an awesome fucking experience. I'm fine with them adding a DLC later. I'm fine with them doing live updates in a game like that. I would love to be incentivized to come back to a game I enjoy, right? It's just a question of depth and capability. Here's the thing. Capcom makes less money, guaranteed, makes less money than Overwatch, Activision, Blizzard. Okay, guaranteed. Activision Blizzard makes more money per year than Capcom could even dream about. All right, I guarantee you that shit. Guarantee you that shit. Right? Off of four fucking titles that they're doing. 4 titles is all they're doing.
That is all. Yeah.
So like and then this game gets defended. Like Overwatch Blizzard, that's one of the biggest ones that always come and defend. They say, "Oh, well, they have to keep the lights on in the server somehow. They have to keep, you know, like, they have to have these randomized loot boxes because if they did it in a fair way, then they wouldn't be fair. See, because if they let people pick what they wanted to buy and they hid it behind it, and that's the thing, that's the perfect thing to set up this next point, is that when you have games like For Honor, so like that would be the right way for Overwatch. In my opinion, if Overwatch wanted to impress me, they'd get rid of loot boxes. Well, how do they do that? They move to a system where they're giving out credits to the players instead of a loot box. They're giving out the currency, right? But then people are going to see how full of shit Blizzard is. Because at that point, you're only going to be getting drizzled credits because they want you to buy the extra content. They want you to buy the skins. They want those to be purchased. Right? And then at that point, you're going to see, okay, well, fine. You know, whatever. That grind wall's there. I want this skin. You're going to give them fucking money for the skin. And as someone who may not want to collect all the skins for all the characters, you're going to be fine just playing, enjoying the game, being a player, not a payer for, you know, forever. You're not going to care. Right? But if they give you these skins and they do these holiday events that give you like all this bullshit, like, oh, well, here's new skins to farm that are tied to this event. Here's things for you to do that's tied to this event, and blah, blah, blah. If they keep doing that, odds are, in giving you a loot box every fucking time you level up, giving you that fucking mental mind fuck, right? They're gonna, this is why these exist. These don't exist to keep the lights on.
They don't exist to make money. They don't exist to continually fund the game. They exist so that they can be lazy, put the least amount of effort into the game, and make the highest amount of return. And that's what they're interested in. Yeah.
That is 100% what they are interested when it comes to this.
Oh, yeah.
They are there to peel off. And this is the thing, when there's this argument like that, oh, well, games shouldn't... The thing is more people are buying games than they did fucking however many years ago.
Oh, yeah.
All right? So due to inflation, well, guess what? The market is also inflated.
Oh,
it's grown. More people play games now than ever before. More people are being marketed to than ever before. More people are playing niche games and things that didn't really have an audience that are now growing in audience because there's so many more gamers. Because people are buying games more, right? At a bigger, larger rate. So you don't fucking tell me that they can't make their money.
Well, and on top of that, they're saying, well, the cost of the video games is there's this visual arms race. Motherfucker, you're getting motion capture technology from like the Lord of the Rings movies that is being used to animate fucking Gollum. You're paying high-paid actors like A-list actors, you know, multi-million star actors who've been in multi-billion-dollar movies. What, you think they cost cheap? What, you think they're like taking the job for $60? No.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Then they're hooking them up to this capture technology, and then they're trying to make it run so smooth, 4K resolution, but they can't get it past 30 frames a second on console.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay, at what point do you're already saying you're sacrificing how the game looks on console right there, but you're throwing all of this money into all this technology to add this AAA sheen, like, for example, The Order. or whatever.
Yeah, the Order 1886.
Yeah, that one. It's like what?
Exactly.
An 8-hour, 10-hour campaign, but it looks so good. The
But it's
werewolves
got
and the
dumbass
AI.
Yeah, it's like
the combat sucks. It's simplistic. But oh my god, it plays like a movie.
yeah, and that's the thing. So like a perfect example of that with visuals that got slammed would be like Mass Effect Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda was drilled for the fucking money spent on making it look better.
Right.
So now imagine if they had like made it look as good as like God of War. Let's say that Mass Effect Andromeda looks as good as God of War, lip syncing's on point, voice acting is let's just say voice acting is still the same. Everything's still the same except for the visuals. Does that make Mass Effect Andromeda all of a sudden a way, way, way better game?
No.
No, it doesn't. There's still the problem of like the retreading of the story, the Pathfinder is basically a Spectre, all of these things where like you're not Ryder, you're Shepard.
Yeah.
You're reliving Shepard's experiences with aliens. Like there's things that are so similar between characters in this world to the other world where you're like, this is basically the same experience, right?
They even stripped it down because they took away
imagine,
options throughout the game with the karma meter.
Yeah, with like a karma meter, having a good option or a bad option.
Yeah, so that game obviously had more issues than just how it looked, but that's what everybody focused on. However, if the game had come out and it was actually good, fully
just imagine if they ran it and it looked exactly like Mass Effect 3. But they put the care into the gameplay, they put the care into the fucking, the story, the writing, the RPG elements, to the point where it was an ever-expanding experience like The Witcher 3. And it multiple endings with not only just the base game, but also the DLCs, where there's multiple choices, several different playthroughs that you could see different things happen to different things all the time, right?
Right.
So imagine if that was Mass Effect Andromeda, but it looked like Mass Effect 3. No one would have given that game shit about the visuals.
At all.
And if anyone did, they wouldn't have been taken seriously by anyone who loves video games.
And it would have still been overshadowed by all of the good.
Because that's the thing, like Mass Effect Andromeda at its core, I think it was worth playing. I enjoyed the fucking game, right? Did I see many problems with it? Yeah, absolutely, the whole time. Did I feel as into it as I had the previous 3? No, not really at all. But at the same time, there was enough magic and fun there in the gameplay and humor. Humor, honestly, with the facial animations and the shitty voice acting. Plenty of points where I was like enjoying my time enough that I was wrapped up in the game. Okay? If they had released story content for Mass Effect Andromeda, a Quarian story DLC pack, I would have bought it.
Right.
Like that, I would have. Like, I would have felt comfortable buying it because that would have added another playthrough for me for the base game. Plus, more stuff to do when I reach near the end or whatever.
Right, but the thing
I'm not against games as a service. What I'm against is this Destiny fucking way of doing it, or fucking Sea of Thieves way of doing it,
or
where
Overwatch.
There's less risk here. Like, yeah, we'll get hammered in the beginning, but we'll have our fans and they'll defend us. And then we'll prove them right by slowly adding, like a slip and slide.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And then we're the best fucking kiddie pool on the block, man.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is get a slip and slide in there, $20 at Walmart. Fucking A.
And then, at that point, that's all of a sudden you have the fans who had defended you all along. They're able to say, we were right, guys. We were right. And they're able to trumpet it. And people like us who look at it like, yeah, it made it better, but is that good? Like, is Destiny 1 really a supremely different and better game after The Taken King? Or did they just add a slip and slide? Add a couple more things for you to do?
It was still the same environment.
It was still the same kiddie pool.
New bells and whistles.
And, games like Monster Hunter World come out, where, like I said earlier, it's like bean dip, bro. It's like there's this, all the way down. And sure, it's based around a simple sort of gameplay loop that, but the thing about that simple gameplay loop is it radically changes because of the multiplayer aspect. And fucking Capcom are able to keep the lights on over there at Monster Hunter World. They're able to have servers that you can continually log into and get into.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They can afford it. Why can't, Blizzard, Activision afford it without loot boxes? Why can't Bungie Activision fucking afford it? And I love this is another defense, always. It's not them, it's the publisher. It's not them, it's the publisher. It's not them, it's the publisher. Look, motherfucker, someone took a shit. And just because someone told them to take the shit doesn't mean that that shit didn't come out of their body.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they're not responsible for that shit. That's the way this world works. I'm sorry. If Bungie is at the fucking front of the card of the game, if it's on the cover of the fucking game, then Bungie is just as responsible for that game as Activision.
And we know that as an entity, as a company, Bungie is more than willing to go along with Activision, and we see that by how many previous Bungie employees left during the shift.
B. Dobbins has even made the argument that the shitty decisions are more on Bungie's shoulders.
At this point,
because it was deals that they made and said, okay, well, we'll be able to do this, and so yeah, we can do that. Knowing they couldn't supply the content, that's why it's bare bones, and then they add a slip and slide.
Right.
You know, they still got a fucking goddamn, you know, they've got shit in the backyard that they're hiding from you. Like, they got shit in the backyard.
Already got.
Yeah, they've got it. It's ready to go. They're just waiting until people start getting bored of this shit. And then it'll come. Because they have to. Because they don't have any more shit after that. They don't have the capability to make more shit after that. They obviously hacky as fuck. I'm telling you, the changes made to Destiny 2 prove one of two things. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. It proves that A, the current Bungie are a bunch of hacks who don't understand the game and made a bunch of changes to it that overall made it a worse experience. A more simple, less varied, dumb fucking experience, right? Or two, they did it on purpose so that later they could change it back and be, you know, heralded as the best thing since fucking the coming of Christ.
Yeah, get that redemption moment that they had with the Taken King where everybody was saying, oh, they fixed it. They've added so many activities, so many things for you to do. They fixed the story. There's actually quests. I remember playing through it, and every single thing that people were fluffing up as being a good move, I was like, wow, so they just tweaked it a little bit, and now it's monumentally better.
Well, they definitely added more things. Like, they added, like, probably 3-layer dip. They added more ways to fucking play the game. There were more activities to participate in. Like, when you were patrolling, it wasn't just, like, picking up a quest, going and killing things, picking stuff up, and just looking around for materials. Right? It was, they added, like, okay, well, you can get this item, and you can take it here, and you can do a boss fight. And, like, they added things to it. I'm not going to take that away from them.
No, I'm not trying to take that away. But what I am going to say is the hype and what people made it out to be was not how it was at all.
No.
It's like the Twilight movies.
Yeah, it's still like 3-layer dip when a game like Monster Hunter can come along and deliver 15, 16-layer dip day fucking one, and on top of that, keep bringing you fresh chips every 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they made their money from you. They're doing good.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're all right.
Money. They can keep the lights on.
They want you to enjoy their product.
And now that you're enjoying it, they want you to tell people, man, this is a good fucking game. This is a great game. This game is so fair. It's a huge game. They don't fuck around with your wallet. They don't fuck around with your mind. Right? This is all about you versus the game, man. And it's the purity of gaming. Right there. It's not you versus the game in a way that the game's constantly pulling at you psychologically in order to give you it more money. That's what Overwatch does. That's what Destiny does.
Oh, yeah.
That's what, like, EA Activision, they come forward with this shit and they fucking, you know, like, it's you gotta grind for characters. You gotta grind for everything, man. And it's just this overreach that finally people are like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. We've defended Overwatch. We've defended fucking CSGO and things like that. And fucking, you know, Team Fortress 2. We've defended all this stuff. But we can't defend something if it's pay to win. Like, that's the line? That's the line? Right. But it's okay. It's okay to fucking defend a practice. Because practice specifically designed and engineered towards peeling away that whatever percent, but it's a huge percent now. Like, it's much bigger than it was. People think that these whales and dolphins are anomaly. I'd say bullshit. I'd say there's a huge group of people that call themselves gamers that love opening cosmetic loot boxes and the rush they get in an Overwatch match, or they, you know, love paying for them. Lots and lots of money for them. for time skips, for loot boxes, for whatever the fuck they've got available. They like paying for them, and it's fine. I understand. But at some point, you gotta ask yourself, how about you take that money and spend it on games that fucking matter? Play games that are fucking doing this the way that it's not fucking with you.
Exactly.
Because these things are engineered to fuck with you. And the problem with that is that they're fucking with minds in a medium where most of the target audience, almost always, their mind hasn't finished developing. Their mind is still in development. And they're fucking hiding this in a cartoon fucking setting with pretty colors and fucking...
Rated T for teen for a reason.
An entertaining arena PvP experience. They're hiding these things in there that are marketed towards kids, developing minds, and I'm supposed to act like I don't give a shit? Because it's a meme that save the kids, think of the children as a meme? Fuck you, man. I'm 33 goddamn years old. I have fucking nephews and nieces that I love very much, that play online games on their phone, that play games on their fucking consoles. Right? I have fucking family. I have a vested interest. This isn't a meme. This isn't some fucking joke. This isn't me standing on a moral soapbox. This is me saying it is wrong to fuck with fucking developing minds.
Oh, yeah.
It is wrong. I would be just as fucking pissed if your kid had like a bout of depression and you threw him on fucking Prozac. I would be just as mad if you fucking gave your kid beer every night.
Yep.
Here, go ahead, have a fucking beer, kid. I don't fucking care.
Well,
and that's your decision, and honestly, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna give a shit. But if it's being mainstreamed to where the point where it's cool to give your kid a beer, everyone should give their kid a beer. And it might happen that my fucking nieces and nephews might be given beer. I'm gonna fucking say something about it. Alright? Because it's not just some bullshit. It's something that needs to be talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when they're doing it in sexually charged games.
And especially when they're saying, well, this is just to keep the lights on.
And we have to do it this way. We could not do it any other way. Meanwhile...
Yeah, so many other games.
On the horizon,
that,
gleaming on the horizon in front of fucking everybody.
And that's what I wanted to bring up about the extra credits video, is that argument. Anybody making that argument, it's just within the confines of this rule. That these are the way things are laid out, and this is how these companies have to make extra money on top. And we've tried doing season passes, but that failed. And we tried doing them all in lifestyle games that have live teams and ongoing content, but that doesn't work with every game. And so that's why loot boxes are there. Don't talk to me like I'm a fucking child, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, no, season passes do not fail. You throwing a blanket over all season passes and being like, fail. All fucking fail. That means Witcher 3 failed.
Yeah, the Witcher 3 season pass didn't make CDPR any money.
Oh yeah, and so many other games that actually have a season pass that do have a lucrative success behind it, that technically, according to your rules, they should fail.
Fuck, Destiny 2 has a fucking successful season pass. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Almost everyone who bought that game bought the fucking fuck me in the mouth day one season pass edition. I guarantee you that.
Oh yeah.
Any Guardian who was hopeful for Destiny 2, wanted Destiny 2 to be good, was excited for Destiny 2, who had enjoyed Destiny 1, all those people bought that fucking game with the season pass.
Oh yeah.
Guarantee.
And I'm not opposed to a season pass tied to things.
I'm not either.
Like I said, The Witcher 3. This is an example of how you do it right. Okay, you can't just say, oh, well, these failed. Well, without taking into account certain factors of why they failed, right? So, for example, I'm not going to go back and I'm not going to buy the Assassin's Creed Origins DLC. I'm not going to buy the Season Pass. I don't care. Why? Because I've beaten the game. The story took me from A to Z without any fucking variation off the path.
Sure,
and
it was fun. The combat was
but
fun.
I know the journey.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is most of the enjoyment out of Assassin's Creed Origins for me, why I justify that $60 is because of how it looked and being able to travel through ancient Egypt.
And the story was laid out well, but at the end of the day, it's just been told to you.
As opposed...
And it wasn't told in such an exceptional fucking way that I would want to experience again without any variations.
Right.
If it could have had more variations, like more ways things could have gone, different choices for you to take with, what's his name? The Magi. I forget his name.
I can't remember.
See, that's how memorable that game was.
But you see, as opposed to The Witcher 3, you know, where one playthrough takes hundreds of hours.
If you do it all.
Yeah, but that one playthrough is going to be so drastically different than every other playthrough that you will go through with that game, right? And so then, because it takes you so long to beat that game, you need a break. You know, you need a couple months before you pick that thing up, before you even try. And then that incentivizes you later to pick up the season pass, because you know eventually you're going to want to play it again because you know the different variations of the endings.
And now it's a great way to come back because now there's something more to do there.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And they made lots of money. CDPR is not hurting for money.
Right.
All right. They made lots of money.
That was a very successful season pass.
Look at how they do Gwent. Like, I don't play these digital card games. I'm not going to make fun of anyone who does. It seems silly and ridiculous to me. That's my own personal opinion and my own personal deal. I'm not going to tell anyone else what they should be allowed to do. I enjoyed Gwent. I would play Gwent, but it's just like, I don't want to grind a card game getting my ass kicked by people who are buying the better cards, right? That are paying money, getting extra cards. That's fine. If you're someone who wants to do that, though, I've heard 100% that Gwent is way better than Hearthstone, way more fair, right? Definitely better. And people will even tell me, in defense of Overwatch, you shouldn't be going after Overwatch. You should be going after Hearthstone. And it's like, why? Why?
I'm not going to go after Hearthstone.
That's like me making a holy war on Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. Or slot machine
There's
apps.
other digital card games to play. There's other digital card games
There's
that are
physical
fair,
card games.
right? The thing about Overwatch, why Overwatch is important to go after, is because you're defending it. That's why I'm going after it.
You're
the
defending
more defense I get for Overwatch, Blizzard, Activision crap, the more I'm going to fucking go after it. I'm sorry. Because it's wrong.
Especially when all of its competitors are getting nailed against the wall. Like, oh my hell. And it is the only one that stands above the loot box controversy. That is why it is so insidious and nefarious to me.
It's because it's defended.
Yeah,
it's
it can't all be
it's
fair.
okay.
It can't all be fair and balanced. No, we gotta have this one rise above all the others and show them how to do it. No.
And that's the problem, is Overwatch and Blizzard is the way to do it.
Yep.
That's the fucking thing you want to...
If you want these things defended,
yeah.
If you want loot boxes in your game that you can buy, if you want whales and dolphins coming over to your game spending $15,000 a week, do it like Overwatch.
Yep. Do it like Overwatch. That's because it will be defended. It will be apologized by the fans. It will be said, this is the right way to do it. I think this is the way we should be looking at it. And by the way, we'll have a video coming out about the right way to do fucking loot boxes.
Yeah.
All right? But the thing is that's why we go after Overwatch, Blizzard. That's why we go after games like Destiny, Sea of Thieves, any of these games that are doing it in such a blatantly obvious way that's a fuck you to the day one buyer, a fuck you to the consumer, time and time again, a mental mind fuck to the consumer. Trying to trick them into being fucking addicted to loot boxes, which happens. I know that seems crazy to some people, but some people never had an addiction, never had to check themselves, because they were always just kind of good people. They were like, I'm not saying you're bad if you drink, but I mean, if you're a fucking alcoholic, you're bad. You got a problem. If you're a fucking junkie shooting up heroin, you got a problem. You're a bad person.
Well, and that's the thing is, you know, I have a friend, Jeff, you know, he never drinks, never smokes.
Yeah,
never does drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have an addiction. He's just stayed away from it because he knows from other experiences in his life that these things can cause a negative reaction throughout your life, right?
Yeah.
However, these things are preying upon him and showing up in his hobby because he's a gamer. Right. You know what I mean?
And so anyone like that, and kids especially anyone like that, anyone who hasn't had to face an addiction, check themselves, turn away from it, and like separate themselves from an addiction, not just a physical but also a mental, something that encompasses your life, right? These things are having that effect on people because they're engineered to.
Yeah.
Okay? And if that's okay, if you want to defend that, that's fine. But don't come down here to our fucking channel and hand out this tired ass excuse that Blizzard Activision, the company who has enough money to pay lawmakers not only here, but also in other countries, so that they can set up tax havens to let their billions sit tax-free, that company has to have fucking loot boxes in their game in order to justify keeping the lights on. In order to justify the fucking free time content that just incentivizes these weak-minded fucking whales and dolphins to hand over more cash to this greedy, overbloated, half-hack-ass fucking company.
Well, and that's what's absolutely hilarious about this argument, is it's not just defending one company, is they're throwing a blanket over all AAA games, like, oh, these are the best ones because they look the best, and this is why they look the best, this is why they need to sell you these things, without staring at the exceptions that are glaring in your eye and blinding your fucking ass off, because that is how much they stand out.
It's like, it's stupid it's stupid to me for you to defend Overwatch, Activision, and the loot boxes in Overwatch, saying that that's the only way they can deliver you what little content exists in that game. Okay? It's ridiculous to me. And I'm sorry that if that hurts your feelings, that I hold that opinion. I'm sorry that I hold that opinion. But in my opinion, there's a right way and a wrong way to do games as a service, live fucking games. And Monster Hunter does it 100% better and is just as fucking effective monetarily, obviously, as them. Because it exists, and it's made money, and it gets good press, and it gets it for all the right reasons. So when are people going to wake up and realize that this fucking excuse is not holding water anymore? Because there's hundreds and hundreds of fucking examples that aren't just anomalies, and just wake up. That's all I can say. Wake up!
Yeah, that's it.
That's it for me, Jackson. I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Chubbz, you got anything you want to say?
We're out of here. Have a good one, everybody.
Just remember, like, look, this is the thing. Like, if you're only playing games like Overwatch, like Destiny, then I can see how you think that's the right way. But play other games. Like, live outside your box. Check out other things. And I promise you, you will be surprised by what you fucking find. Later, everybody.